Hello everybody, welcome to Sensible Fitness, and in today's video we're going to look at 5 signs of a scam diet. Scam diets are basically everywhere these days. Everyone has their own secret diet tip or the best diet that will help you lose weight at an insanely fast rate. And today I'm just going to look at 5 signs, and there are more signs as well, of course, but these are 5 signs that are usually seen in most scam diets. One of the major signs of a scam diet or a diet that is usually overhyped is it asks you to remove an entire macronutrient. So for example, your low-fat diets, or more recently, your keto diets or your low-carb diets. Now here's the thing, all macros, be it carbohydrates, proteins, fats or water, they're all very, very important. Regardless of which one is apparently good or bad, all are very important, and your body needs all 4 of these macros. So any diet that basically asks you to just completely cut out or demonizes a single one of these macros is a diet that really isn't based on science. Furthermore, most foods will have a certain percentage of the 3 macros, your carbs, your proteins and fats. So when you just demonize a particular macro, when you say you're not allowed to have that particular macro at all, you're basically limiting the amount of food or limiting the options for the person who is doing the diet, which makes it much harder to actually find food that they enjoy, find foods that they like, which is what you need, especially if you want to succeed, and especially if you want to build a diet for the long run. Another major sign of a scam diet is any diet that labels foods as good or bad. As discussed in the 5 foods for fat loss video, the link to which I'll leave in the cards and in the description, there's no such thing as a good food or as a bad food, right? All of it sort of depends on your goals. It sort of depends how much of that food you're eating, when you're eating it, how much of a gap you have between 2 times that you do eat it, stuff like that. So no single food in and of itself is good or bad. There's also the case of the RAS, or the reticular activating system. Now, this is actually a phenomena of human psychology where if you were to label something as bad, that sort of becomes more in focus for a particular person. For example, if I were to say chocolate is very bad for you, now every time you say go to a market, or every time you think about food, or you think about what to have for lunch or dinner, chocolate becomes a lot more in focus for you. And obviously, when something is in focus, like when you're constantly thinking about something, it's a lot harder to sort of ignore it. This also means that it's more stressful to ignore it, because if someone tells you, hey, all carbs are bad, you're constantly thinking about carbs and constantly wanting more carbs. And that not only makes it more difficult to avoid carbs, ironically, but what happens is that adds more stress to life. Now, stress in and of itself is bad for fat loss if that's the goal you're chasing, but it's also bad for your general health. Having a lot of stress in your life can lead to you being sick more often. So any diet that labels foods as good or bad is definitely going to be in the category of scam diets. Then of course there's diets that promise to hack or boost a certain part of the human body. Diets that claim to boost your immunity, diets that claim to boost your metabolism, stuff like that. If a diet claims to hack your body, run. No diet in and of itself hacks your body. That will not happen. Your body is not that simple, it's not that easily fooled. Nothing in the world will hack your body. So any diet that promises to do this, for example, drinking lemon water to boost your metabolism, just doesn't work. It really will not work. Or if they do work, they have a lot of dangerous side effects. Fat burner pills, appetite suppressors, stuff like that. They work, but they have a lot of side effects. And in the long run, they are completely and utterly ineffective. So yes, it might help you on your fat loss journey, but because you don't really build up any healthy habits, the second you stop using these products, you'll go back to your old habits and you'll go back to your old weight. So these are not sustainable in the long run. And a definite sign of a scam diet is when it puts an arbitrary timeline on your health. If you're looking to lose fat, or if you're looking to, let's say, gain fat even, or if you have any kind of fitness goal, having a rough timeline or having a rough end goal like I'm going to lose the weight by this point is okay, because you have to have a goal to sort of work towards. But any diet that sort of puts an arbitrary timeline, like within the next 2 months you will lose 30 kgs, done. Those are scam diets, because here's the thing, similar to the hacking method, these diets either don't work, or if they do it in a very, very unsustainable and very, very dangerous method, either by putting you in an extreme caloric deficit or removing carbohydrates and sodium, causing you to lose a lot of water and a lot of muscle. But again, that's not really healthy for you, because surprise, surprise, your body needs water and your body needs muscle. So losing that and losing weight because you've lost muscle and because you've lost water is not really the healthiest thing to do. Not to mention, adding this sort of arbitrary, end point or time period by which you have to lose a ton of weight, again, just adds stress to a person's fitness journey, which they don't need. And as discussed in the previous points, stress is definitely not going to be good for your fat loss journey or your health in general. And this becomes even more important when considering that most people aren't professional athletes. If you're a professional athlete and let's say you have to lose a certain amount of weight before, say, a big sporting event or before a sporting season starts, fair enough. That's completely understandable, and yes, people have to do that. But when you're trying to go from an unhealthy lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle, you have to focus on building habits and you have to go slow. It won't happen in 2 months. So when any kind of diet sort of puts this short-term timeline, and it's always a short-term timeline. I have never seen a scam diet go, you will lose the weight in the next 2 years. It's always something stupid like 10 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, some ridiculously short term, and these just don't work. And last but not least, diets that have set meals and set meal time. They're basically lay out the entire plan. Wake up at 6 a.m., have this dish. Then at 9 a.m. you will have your breakfast. At 11 a.m. you will have this. At 12 you'll have this. At 2 o'clock you have lunch. At 4 o'clock you'll have this. By 7 o'clock have dinner and you go to bed. That's it. End of the day. Now having a plan to your diet, or sort of planning in advance what you want to eat and when you want to eat it, is not a bad thing. Planning can actually be effective because then you just have to execute it. You don't have to think about it as much, and it basically takes the mental side of it out of it, which is of course the most difficult thing when going from a state of inactivity or an unhealthy state to a state where you're exercising and you're more healthier. It's to sort of change your mindset from one of just sitting around not doing much to one where you want to go out and you want to work out. So having a plan is definitely something that can help. But any diet that sets a particular time to eat, especially if it's a fat loss diet, it is definitely a scam diet. You do not need to eat any food at any particular time at all. As I've covered in the video Time and Nutrition, the link to which will be in the cards in the description, when you eat your food has absolutely no effect on your fat loss. If you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose fat, regardless of if you eat at 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 12 o'clock at night, has no effect whatsoever. If you're in a caloric deficit, you lose fat. Set meal times right there are just pointless. Now, for set meals, however, yes, that can help you to a certain extent, because if they have set meals, then you obviously know that you're getting so many calories. Again, caloric deficit, most important thing, so you'll know exactly how many calories you're getting. But if you're someone that doesn't like those particular ingredients, or you don't like that particular dish, diets that say you have to eat these dishes or you will never lose weight are a sign of a scam diet, because any good diet, any long-term diet should give you flexibility to incorporate foods you enjoy, should give you flexibility to eat when you want to eat when it's more convenient for you. Because long-term, I will guarantee this to you, no single food, no single meal, no single ingredient will cause you fat loss or will stop you from losing fat. All that matters for healthy diets is the quality of ingredients. For fat loss or for fat gain, all that matters is calories. So any diet that does not give at least a little bit of flexibility in what you can eat, doesn't allow you to put some of your favorite foods, or at least some foods that you like, is a diet that is super restrictive. And again, restrictive diets often lead to stress, which, as we covered in previous points, are bad. So any diet that has exactly set meals and set meal times is probably a sign of a scam diet. Thank you very much for watching. That was the video on 5 signs of scam diets. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe. Please do click the bell icon to be notified every time a new video drops. If you have any comments, questions, doubts, topic ideas which you would like me to convert into a full-fledged video like this one, please leave it in the comment section down below. Please do also follow the channel on all other social media platforms. If you're interested in conversations about music, please do follow the Basic Travel podcast. Once again, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.